What up everybody, thanks for sticking around this far. Welcome to this middle section, which would have been the unboxing of this MN82T, but unfortunately I've deleted the footage by accident, so you're left with me waffling on for a bit about the details of this truck and what to expect to find in the box, how to apply the details and stickers. So let me settle you down and take you through some of those details now. Okay, so the MN82T, with its main feature being this wrecker body with its servo assisted winch, which is controllable through the transmitter, a manually operated boom where you can tie it off to any position you like here with a hook. You can see I've applied all the stickers and all the scale details such as door handles and door mirrors, snorkel, windscreen wipers, some red accents here on the back. I've put the MN logo there on the front, and also a little bit of branding there in the sun strip, which works very nicely with this colour. So as you can see here, we've got a red servo casing, which means it's the waterproof version. The rear features leaf springs and shock absorbers, and the front is on a 4-link setup with plastic axles, plastic drive shafts and a plastic chassis. Power switch is located there underneath. Also worth noting is under the hood is where you'll find the battery location, and indeed out the box your battery will be in there. It's held down with a magnet, so it actually closes really nicely. Now with these stickers, it's probably best to use some tweezers like I've got here, and try and grab the sticker in a place where you're going to be happy applying it. So with this one, for example, I would have held at the top in the center so I could just gently place it where I wanted it, and then finish off by smoothing over with your thumb. That will ensure a nice clean finish and accurate placement. So some of these details were quite tricky to install, but take your time and you'll get there in the end. These fog light lenses, for example, particularly tricky to get in, but persist and you will get there like anything in life. Your wheels and tyres are plastic rims with quite a firm compound tyre. There's no foam and no glue, but they do the job, and I think they look quite nice as a scale wheel for this truck. So let's get the battery in, get the rocks on the bench and give it a bench test before we take it out on the trail. Okay, so we've got our rocks out, we've got the battery which plugs in under the hood here. So we'll just make sure that the plugs are in the right orientation and push fit. Then if we tuck the connection and the wires into this part, the battery fits in perfectly there, and then push close with a magnet to keep it secure. So before we do the bench test, I just thought I'd show you these LEDs. So at the moment the vehicle is stopped and we've got our brake lights on, and if we go in forwards, they go out, and if we let go, brake lights come on again. And then in reverse, we've got proper reverse lights, very bright, and then back with the brake lights. Around the front we've got our headlights and also indicators. The fog lights don't have LEDs in them. If we press the light switch on the transmitter, we turn the lights off and then on again. In the off mode, we do still have turn signals. So I've put the batteries in the controller already, so we'll go ahead and turn that on. Then on the truck itself, underneath you will find the power button, just there. And then we get a beep of confirmation from the ESC that we are now powered up. Quick wiggle of the steering confirms that. And if I squeeze the throttle ever so gently, we'll be away. There we go. Right, I shall move you off the bench and give this a quick test. Yeah, I'll just show you on the controller. I've had to change my trim there to centre the steering. The throttle rate here is electronically controlled, so in fact if you have it in the highest gear, it gives you better torque and better low speed control, so I generally leave it in that second gear. The light button was for your lights on and off, your headlights, and then we've got channel 3 plus and minus there, which will be your winch, which we shall give a go in a minute. So let's give this a go. Slow speed control is good. Obviously we get the whine from the ESC, but really in the real world it's not too noticeable. We managed to get across here, just about. We're on a bit of a side slope now. Oh, is it going to get pushed? We'll try and keep us level. There we go. Yes. Now can we make it back the other way? Hopefully you can hear me over this ESC. Let's see if it works. Oh, slipped off there. I'll give it another go. We need to try and keep as high as possible, I think. A little bit too high, somewhere between the two lines. There we go. Oh, lacking a bit of control there. Oh, I've lost my line. So I had the approach but lost it midway through. Let's see if I can get it all the way across. Finding that right line. Oh, I didn't quite get the front wheel there, so let's just see if I can adjust through the controller. Gentle inputs just to get me where I want to be. Holding on really well, so here we go. Made it. Look, got that wheel on. I'm on the rocks. Yes. Okay, so here we have the little RCOCM timber yard. Now on the controller, if we was to press the channel 3 plus, that allows the line to come out. Pull it towards this first log, enough to wrap it around, so let me do that. Hand of God coming in to hitch up the load. And then on the controller, channel 3 minus will bring your line in. There we go. 60 grams, quite happily dealt with there, and then we've got our load, off we trot. Alright, let's come back and make that heavier load. Okay, so there's our second load. It's 173 grams, this log. So again, if we press the channel 3 plus, seems to be dragging it alright. Let's see if it will get it up and over this flatbed. Oh no, we're getting stuck there, so I'm just going to give it a helping hand. There we go. Let's get it up over that hitch. And there we go. 173 grams loaded. Off we go. Right, come back for some more weight. So there we go, that's 233 grams now, and also we're at the maximum extension of our pull cord there. So at this point you can now decide whether you want channel 3 plus to be reeling in or channel 3 minus to be reeling in. I think I'll keep it as it came out of the box, so I'll be pressing channel 3 minus to bring that load in. Let's see if we can deal with it. 233 grams. Oh yeah, it's dragging it. A little bit more of a whine from the motor, but impressive. I'm going to have to probably give it a help again. Just snagged on the rear there, but it should do it now. Yeah. That's a decent load. We'll drive off with that one. Awesome. Can we do heavier? We'll see. Okay, we're at 473 grams, so nearly half a kilo. Let's give it a go. Oh, it's moving it, but you can tell the servo's struggling a little bit more now. I'm not going to do any more than this. This will be my last one. I don't want to break it. I'll give it another little helping hand away from the hitch. Oh, it's struggling. But there we go. Will it finish the way? Oh, yes. 473 grams, nearly half a kilo there. Ooh. And it drives without wheelies. So, pretty impressive, and I should think that would be more than capable of dragging a like-sized rig up a mountain, up a scale mountain. So let's take this out on the trail, see what it's like in the real world, and have a little bit more fun with it there. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Please remember to like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.